Boys are back in town. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bam. Ready. Nail way. How do you say that name? Nail way? Nail. Nail way. Let's get it. What up, PS Collector? How are you, bro? Doing good, bro? Did you get Assassin's Creed Shadow as well? Or you decided to skip it? Can't remember if I asked you that already. I'm doing good, man. Just trying to chill this Sunday evening before work starts this week. It's gonna be a crazy week for me, at least. I haven't played any of this game since yesterday afternoon, probably about an hour, hour and a half or so. Kind of quit. Yeah, I feel the same way about Assassin's Creed that you described, but this one, I don't know what the fuck it is with it, man. It's not doing it for me. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm a, I like the Japanese stuff. I'm a fan. I'm not a huge fan, but I'm not like head over heels about like Japanese stuff in games. Maybe that's my maybe that's my thing with this one is because I'm not like in love with it that I'm having a hard time with this game. Where other people who are completely in love with the Japanese stuff, maybe it's easier for them to kind of disregard the things about the game that aren't as strong because that's sustaining them right now. Um, I don't know. I feel like the story on this one is weak. I mean, oh yeah, yeah. No, the game looks good, man. The game visually looks great. Graphic wise is great. But the story, man, all it is a freaking revenge story and rags to riches kind of story, which I'm sure is gonna turn into like a rags to riches to back to rags kind of story. Yeah, a lot of people's origins was their thing. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I know the combat is still I'm still fairly, in the beginning, so it hasn't expanded yet. So I know that I still have ways to go. The combat is fun. It's a little challenging, but it's fun. Um, yeah, I don't know. The base building stuff kind of was, I don't know. It's like I'm not interested in that. I thought I would be, but I don't know if base building translates to controller as well as maybe PC. I don't know. Maybe I'm being nitpicky. I don't know. But I know that amongst my friends, I'm the one that was kind of saying stuff like, let's give AC a chance. Let's not dismiss it right away, how some people do just because it's Ubisoft, right? I'm a little bit more on the other side of things. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm gonna continue playing it this week when I get a chance. But as soon as Atomfall drops, I'll be jumping off this and jumping into that, and I don't know when or if I will ever beat this game. Just hasn't done it for me. So I don't know. Maybe I'm broken, PS4 collector. Maybe I'm broken, bro. But the game is doing extremely well, which is one of the topics tonight. Um, it's doing pretty good. So 2 million. I pre-order that. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean the it runs. Do you own a PS5? Oh, I'm guessing you do because you're getting Shadows, right? I don't know if that's a PS5 only game or what, but um, the Origins has the 60 frames on the PS5, so it runs really good. Oh, nice. You got a decent collection. Yeah, I have let's see, 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20. Uh I have about 240 on the PS5 and PS4 I got 20, 40, 60, 81, 24, 140 on the PS4. So I got and that's all physical. I mean, I have hundreds more digitally. Definitely got way more physical than digital. But I got about 20 for the Xbox between the 360, Xbox One, and Series S or X gen. And I have about 40 Switch games and about 30 PS3 physical games. Oh, snap. 2,200. Sheesh. So hold up. Question for you, real quick. I'm glad that you said that. So like when I buy games, I just buy the games that I have an interest in. Like I'm not I don't call myself a collector. People say I'm a collector, but I don't think I am because I just buy the games I want to play. How do you buy your games? Are you just trying to complete everything that came out for the PS4, or are you like buying games like how do you do it? Are you investing in these games? Like do you buy games that you feel like you can make money on in the future? Like how do you do that? That's super interesting. I was for ESRB for the four, but most I have interest in. Okay. Damn, bro, that's a lot. I don't even know. I know there's thousands of games on the PS4, of course, but like I wouldn't even know like if I wanted to add more to my, quote unquote collection, I wouldn't even know what what to buy. Like I can't even think of it. I would have to see a library and, kind of pick out stuff that stands out to me. Like I wouldn't even know how to do it. Total, I'm about 6K for physical, starting with Atari. Damn. So do you have like all the consoles, like, Nintendo, NES, Super NES, 64, PS1, PS2, 3, Dreamcast, Genesis? You got all that stuff, or is just certain consoles that that you go after? Nice. Well, fuck, bro. I'd be I know tonight is a slow night here for the state of gaming, right? But I would love to have you on and just talk to you about this stuff, bro. I never met somebody personally that has a collection that big, and I'm actually gonna do a little speech about physical versus digital video games in a little bit. Wrote it down yesterday, and I think it'll be a good one. But I definitely would love to have you on, bro, and just kind of give you a little interview about physical video game collection. Facts, cool. Well, add me on PlayStation. That's where we do it. We just do a party chat on PlayStation. Here, let me it's Will777JP. I'll write it down in the comments. Yeah, add me on there, bro. All we do is a party chat and we hang out. Um, yeah, I'd be super interested in finding out more because that's dope. I've seen some like big YouTubers with their collections and stuff, and it's cool, but you don't know these people, right? So I mean, you can only get go based off what they tell you, and you can't really ask them any questions because they got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and whenever they do go live, they're not trying to talk about their physical games. They want to talk about other shit, and if they do talk about their collection, trying to get them to pick out your chat or what you write during the chat is freaking difficult. Um, but yeah, that is dope. Damn, looks like we really are dead tonight. That's okay. Well, PS4, since you're the only fucking one here, I'm gonna go ahead and read my speech to you. Let me know what you think. And it's basically PS4 versus PS or physical video game collection versus digital video game collection. Um, oh shit, hold up. Alrighty, fucking found it. Yeah, my co-host didn't show up today. Haven't heard from him. Hope he's okay. And Sunday nights are tough, man. People are usually hanging out, chilling with the family and shit. And not enough people like me to fucking stop what they're doing to be here. But either way, here's my speech, PS4 collector. Wrote it just for you, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's rapidly evolving world of gaming, we are seeing a shift towards digital platforms, with many gamers opting for downloadable content and streaming services. While digital games certainly have their place, I believe that physical video games are far more important and offer distinct advantages that cannot be overlooked. First and foremost, physical games offer a sense of ownership and permanence. When you buy a physical copy of a game, you own it. It's yours to keep, trade, sell, or gift whenever you please. There is no fear of losing access to your game if servers go down, services are discontinued, or your digital account is compromised. With physical copies, you know that your collection will stand the test of time as long as you take care of them. Pause right here, right? Because according to fucking all these weirdos online, your fucking games are gonna rot away. So RIP my PS3 games that have been alive for 20 fucking years. Continuing on with my speech. Secondly, physical video games preserve the nostalgia and history of gaming. For many of us, part of the joy of gaming lies in building a collection, proudly displaying the boxes, manuals, and artwork that came with our favorite titles. Each game, what's up, Brett? You came in the middle of my speech of why digital or physical games are more important than physical. I'm sorry, physical games are more important than digital. I'm in the middle of my speech that I wrote yesterday. Where was I? For many of us, part of our joy of gaming lies in building a collection, proudly displaying the boxes, manuals, and artwork that came with our favorite titles. Each game tells a story, not just in terms of gameplay, but also through its physical presence. From the iconic cartridge based system of the 80s and 90s to the most recent disc based formats, physical games serve as a bridge between generations of gamers, allowing us to preserve the rich history of video games. Another important aspect is the reliability of physical games. No matter how fast your internet connection is, downloading a large game or update can take a significant amount of time. Worse yet, if a server goes offline or if a digital store shuts down, you might lose access to the game entirely. With physical games, you are no longer at the mercy of internet speed, servers outages, or changing company policies. A disc or cartridge, once inserted into your console, works instantly, no waiting, no downloads, no issues for the older gen. For current gen, there is an install, but you can guarantee yourself that the game will work. Physical games also offer an enhanced experience in terms of quality and compatibility. Many older games or niche titles are often only available physically, making it impossible to experience them in digital formats. Furthermore, not all digital platforms are consistent in terms of backwards compatibility. With physical media, you can enjoy your games on older systems without worrying about compatibility issues or constantly having to buy new hardware to play your favorite classics. Lastly, physical video games support the gaming community in ways that digital copies can't. When you buy a physical game, the money often goes directly to the developers, distributors, and retailers who work to bring these games to market. Additionally, physical copies can be shared, gifted, or sold, helping spread the love for gaming. Digital games, on the other hand, are often tied to one account, making them less accessible to others. Whether it's the experience of trading a game with a friend or building a collection over time, physical games foster a sense of community that digital simply cannot replicate. In conclusion, while digital video games are convenient and certainly have their merits, the importance of physical video games cannot be denied. They provide a sense of ownership, preserve the rich history of gaming, offer reliability, enhance the experience of gaming, and support the community. So let us not forget the value of physical media and the incredible experiences it brings to gamers around the world. Thank you. A little cheesy, but I wanted to make it bombastic and use fancy words that I don't normally use instead of saying that shit's gay, right? Got to expand our vocabulary a bit, but I wanted to write something about that, and I think I'm gonna do something like that every week going forward because I've been doing the will it play with no internet, which I should change the title of that motherfucking video series to will installed with no internet, because most games will play with no internet for an extended amount of time, right? Because if you don't check in DRM and all that, but physical games are extremely important, man. Um, yes, absolutely, PS4 collector. They both have. Look, I have hundreds and hundreds of digital games. It's not just physical games that I have, but digital as well. But as I laid out in my speech there, there's just ownership. I think I said ownership about 4 times. I think that's the most used word in that fucking speech, because it means a lot. And I don't want to turn my PlayStation on one day and I get an email from Sony saying, "Hey, you said the word gay and your account is blocked and you have no access to none of your digital content or your library." So, or any other numerous reasons, you get hacked, whatever, you lose access. But with that being said, man, thank y'all so much for being here. I do have a couple topics we're going to talk about tonight, real quick. And of course, the chat is always open. So if you guys ever want to hop in, feel free to do so. But speaking of digital and physical video games, right? I want to actually start off with the first one, which is it's PC and console, right? Console, you have the option for both. PC, you really only have the option for one, which is digital. But while doing a little bit of research on the digital versus physical, I came across a cool article from Game Rant that was titled PC Gamers Reportedly Play Old Games Most of the Time. Most of the time. So that's interesting, because we talk about, 5090s and 4090 Ti, for whatever, graphics card that are freaking can run a fucking space shuttle to Jupiter. But yet a lot of PC gamers are playing really old games. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of read this article a little bit here. And hopefully y'all can chime in and give me some of your opinions. But this was really interesting. And thank you, Brett. I hope you feel better, bro. Uh, Starting off here, PC gaming is gaining popularity, but it seems that many PC gamers are also most interested in older games than new releases. This information comes from a video game market intelligence company report, which shares some key statistics on PC gamers and their habits. And this is true because even within my friend group, I have people talking about PC more and more as time goes on. Guys that have been playing on console for a very long time. PC gamers on Steam may be aware of the fact that the non-console variety of gaming is rapidly gaining popularity. Steam has broken multiple records over 2024, and earlier in March 2025, Steam reached a new player milestone, passing 40 million concurrent users on the platform. While hot new releases can help to propel these numbers up temporarily, this new report indicates that many gamers tend to stick with older titles. Ben Porter, director of Newzoo, has shared a report with PC Gamer that gaming on PC is increasingly in popularity, but that gamers on the platform are primarily sticking with popular older games. Porter indicates that it's believed that there were 907.5 million PC gamers in 2024, up from 873.5 million in 2023. So an increase of about 37 million. That's a big increase. Meanwhile, console gaming was estimated to be at 653 million in 2024. A survey of 73,000 players indicate that 67% of players' hours were spent on games that were at least 6 years old, while 25% of game time was dedicated to titles between 2 and 5 years old, while a mere 8% of playtime was dedicated to newer video games under 2 years old. Hold up, let's go over some of these numbers real quick. So, PC gaming in 2024 had 907 million PC gamers. And of course, these numbers are a very rough estimate because we can't count everything. But that went up about 37 million. Console gamers, 653 million. So, PC gamers are roughly 260 million more, roughly. Super interesting. But the other interesting aspect here is that 67% of players spent most of their time playing games that were at least 6 years old. 25% were titles that are between 2 and 5 years old, and only 8% are playing shit that's under 2 years old. That's fucking crazy. So obviously, for these new games, these big AAA games, now we know why they've kind of always released on console first and then on PC, right? Because PC gamers are playing old fucking games. So this actually matches up because it says here that 8% of the gamers were playing games that are 2 years old. And I think I read somewhere else, is between like 8 and 10% of PCs out there are even capable of running the newer games, the newer software. So it matches pretty fucking good here. Wow. But let's move on because it says, what older games are PC gamers gravitating to? According to the report, the 67% of PC game player hours spent on old games saw a number of headlining games that were popular. Fortnite took about 5.4% of those hours, with Dota 2 taking up 5.8%. Roblox and League of Legends were both over 6%. However, it's worth pointing out that this study surveyed 73,000 players and looked at data from 10,000 games. In other words, the survey participants only make up 0.008% of all PC gamers, so the actual percentage of time spent may differ if one were able to look at every single PC gamer's habit. Well, if you guys look at Steam top freaking like 100 games, I mean, Dota, Fortnite, League of Legends, they're all in the freaking top 10, right? So I think that the sample size of 73,000 gamers reflects a much bigger portion than just that amount. With PC gaming continuing to gain in popularity, it's not hard to imagine that PC gaming could soon reach 1 billion players in the near future. While PC gaming can be quite expensive, potentially costing hundreds of dollars more to get started than a gaming console, powerful PCs aren't necessarily to enjoy many games. Older games tend to have lower system requirements, and massive indie hits like Stardew Valley don't require powerful systems to play. With tariffs potentially impacting the cost of games and PC components in the US, the trend of PC gamers playing older, less graphically demanding titles may continue to dominate. So, super interesting title that I came across that I want to share with you guys. Um, and yes, Henry, PC gamers love games as a service. PC gamers like playing old ass games, right? So when we talk about developers creating these big budget AAA games and leaving consoles out of it, it's really hurting themselves. But I understand why they go PC because it's easier to develop, right? You just got to change, performance, levels for each game so it can get played by a wider range of people. You can produce games quicker, right? So there's a lot of advantages. Also, if you want to make the money, console's where it's at, right? You get a bigger chunk of money on console. You have a super specific audience that you can go after. So there's pros and cons. But as the title says, as console to PC are hundreds of dollars apart, that gap is closing more and more as time goes on. Look at the PS5 Pro, $700 versus a PC. It's not $300-400 anymore, and now you're spending 15-20 grand for a PC. That's not the conversation anymore. Now it's freaking $600-700-800 for a console, 1,200-1,500 bucks for a PC. So that gap is definitely shortening up. I will question where things like iPad and tablets fall. Kids play a lot on those devices because it's easy access. Oh, absolutely. And phones, tablets, all that, that is the most popular gaming medium in the world. And the reason it is because they're including shit like Candy Crush and, Snake and all these phone games that you cannot access or you can access, but you don't really play on PC or console, it's so easy, you know? My son, he's 9 years old, and he doesn't mind playing Roblox, whether it's on the phone or on his Xbox. And that generation is what's going to dictate um, where the video game industry goes, you know, and they're going to go more mobile. It's just the way it is. You know, they don't care about graphic fidelity, right? They don't give a shit about none of that. As long as the game look good to them, they don't care. I mean, look at some of the most popular games that kids play. Minecraft, Roblox. You know, like these games aren't graphically fucking impressing no fucking body, right? Fortnite. Fortnite is all our style, right? Graphics, I mean, what fucking graphics? So the most popular games that kids are playing on their phones aren't the same thing as it is to us, right? We care about graphics. We care about the 60 frames per second, 120 frames. You know, we care about all that shit. They don't. Most kids hit up that YouTube. Yep. Game Pass. Yep. Game Pass plays on everything. I mean, there's another article. I don't know if I'm gonna go over. I actually do. We'll go into that article next. And the article basically is where the hell is it? Right here. Another article by Game Rant. And the title is It Seems Microsoft Accidentally Teased Steam on Xbox. So we all know Xbox is trying to put Game Pass on everything. Your TV, your wife's dildo, you know, your toaster, the whole nine yards. Well, now it seems that Microsoft is actually trying to put Steam on its Xbox. And I think that's a great fucking idea. That is a great idea. So let's go ahead and get into that one a little bit. Before I continue, let me read some of this chat. Minecraft. Where people think gamer term whales came from, those mobile spenders. Absolutely. Oh, hell. Yeah, Brett, I'm by myself today. Nelson, no call, no show. And I didn't invite. Well, I told Henry he could pop in if he wanted to. RPG knows he can come in whenever he wants to, but they don't want to, so you know, it's fine. I'm by myself. It's cool. Um, Also, you know, a couple years ago, they said that the average age of a console gamer was like 32 years old or 34 years old. Well, I just read something recently this week where that age is now went up. I think it's 35 or 36 years old. And what does that tell you? That us console gamers are fucking aging. And we're the ones basically keeping consoles alive. It's our generation, millennials, you know, people in their 40s, people that started with Atari and the generation that grew up with Nintendo and PlayStation in the 90s. We're the ones that are maintaining the console business alive. We're passing it on to our children, which is awesome. But man, the same article told us that our generation or our kids aren't going to be passing console on to their kids, meaning that we started with the consoles. Some of us, our parents started with us with our consoles and passed it on to us, but those are very minuscule. But us that we've got older, we're passing it on to our kids. And the article said that our kids will carry on with it, but they will not pass it on to their kids, which blew my freaking mind, right? Who knows where technology will be in the future, right? How you game. But the fact that the world will exist with no consoles or consoles being, you know, a super niche thing, it's sad to me. All right, so right here, the Xbox. So by Game Rant says it seems Microsoft accidentally teases Steam on Xbox. Microsoft may have accidentally revealed that Xbox consoles will get Steam support in the future, as Sony and Nintendo have surged ahead in terms of console sales. Microsoft has focused on expanding its software services, to new markets, including handheld smart TVs and mobile platforms. It now seems like it may take that software and third party support even further by letting fans access Steam games from the Xbox app down the road. As competitive as the console wars can be, Microsoft has shown it's not afraid to play nice with competitor systems. Its emphasis on Game Pass shows it's not too concerned about driving people to play on their own hardware exclusively. It may not need such exclusivity anyways, as PlayStation users accounted for 64% of Microsoft's game sales in December 2024. 64%. Hold on, let me read that line again. It may not need such exclusivity anyways, as PlayStation users accounted for 64 of Microsoft game sales in December 2024, which helped it become the world's leading video game publisher. Given such a history, it wouldn't be too surprising if Xbox started supporting other game platforms within its own home screen in the name of convenience. Microsoft detailed its commitment to gaming accessibility in a March 20 blog post, but may have initially revealed more than it wanted to. In a now deleted image acquired by The Verge, a mock up of a reworked Xbox UI shows a category for Steam games in the user game library. The menu option shows up on a TV, suggesting Steam support on Xbox consoles and a tablet and an Asus ROG Ally. Microsoft has previously stated that it wants to combine Xbox and Windows experiences on handhelds, so providing access to Steam games under the Xbox app on these devices will be part of that move towards greater functionality and user friendliness. So we spoke about this last week where we're talking about the Xbox handheld and how Xbox is going third party with it, and they're just going to have somebody like ROG Ally make a handheld that will have the Xbox logo on there, and wham bam, thank you ma'am. It is not a crazy idea to think that Xbox is looking for a way to put Steam on there. Why not? Well, Steam is a storefront, right? So Steam's going to get money either fucking way. And I think Xbox getting a taste of the sales, especially after they started porting games over to PlayStation, and they basically went from zero to hero overnight, they see the potential in being a full-blown third-party publisher, right? I mean, even tomorrow, the rumor is that we're expected to see a release date for Indiana Jones on the PS5. So Xbox with exclusivity is gone. That era no longer exists. Xbox is adapting a full-blown third-party publisher mentality, and I don't blame them. I mean, the Xbox One era, they fucking failed. The Series XS era, they fucking failed. And I think this is the best thing they can do is just become available to whoever they can get to buy their games. No, we don't know. We don't know if Indiana Jones is 6 months exclusive or not. I mean, Indiana Jones is an Xbox first party game, so I mean they can do what they want. I don't think they have a time frame. But Brett, we have another article here that I'll read real quick that talks specifically about that. So maybe we'll find out more information. Another article by GameRant. It says a well-known industry insider has shared some new alleged details about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle PS5 port, including its supposed reveal date, March 24th. The upcoming title will be the first Indiana Jones video game available on PlayStation consoles in over 15 years. Developed by ZeniMax Media subsidiary Machine Games, the latest Indiana Jones games debuted on PC and Xbox Series XS in December 24. 4 months earlier, Microsoft announced that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will also be Coming to PlayStation 5, the PS5 port of the game was officially slated for spring 25, but no further availability details have been shared since then. The game PS5 version is now finally set to be revealed on Monday, March 24th, according to D-Lab's Bill Cohn, who said as much in a recent tweet. The longtime industry insider has also shared the alleged images of the game's physical PS5 copies, including both the standard and premium editions. A physical release for the PS5 port of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle hasn't been officially confirmed yet. Hold up. So they released a physical copy for fucking PlayStation, but not Xbox? Is that thing? Um, Bill Coon also shared an official looking graphic detailing the pre-order bonuses for the game's PS5 ports. These appear to be similar to the original Indiana Jones and the Great Circle pre-order incentives, with the Last Crusade pack featuring a traveling suit outfit and lion tamer whip being the highlight of the offerings. The main difference between the two releases seems to be the length of the early access period for premium edition buyers. While PC and Xbox gamers were able to play the game, oh no, they did get a physical. I remember because it was on Amazon. Up to 3 days early, if they paid for its higher tier edition, PS5 owners will have to settle for 2 days of early access if they do the same as per the same source. Bill Coon has previously reported that the PS5 port of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is slated for release on April 17th. So what is this? A week apart from Forza? Is that what they're doing? Whenever it materializes, the first-person action adventure will become the first PlayStation Indiana Jones game in over 15 years. The latest indie video games to reach Sony consoles were Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings on Lego Indiana Jones 2. The adventure continues, both which launched in 2009. If the PS5 port of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is indeed announced on March 24th, Microsoft will presumably open pre-orders that same day. Given how the company handled the Xbox release, it's plausible that the rumored physical PS5 version won't contain the full game on disc. Instead, the Blu-ray may only include DRM software, requiring users to download around 131 gigabytes of data before they can actually start playing the game. That is bad fucking news, PS4 collector. What the fuck was that, bro? DRM? DRM. They can suck my dick. Henry, are you in or what, bro?
Yeah, I'm in here, player. I was letting you get your shit. I was letting you get your stuff off, man.
Oh man, I thought it was like, because your head says like 30 seconds and shit. I know it's like 10 seconds.
And wow.
Well, Mr. Henry Heck, he was in the chat, then he transported over to the fucking PS chat. He went from YouTube chat to PS chat, voice chat. How you doing, Henry? How you been, bro? Well, I talked to you earlier today. Let the people know how you been.
I'm pretty good, man. Chilling, playing some Veal Guard right now.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. Are you still early in the game?
Yeah. I just got to the point where, well, shit, I might as well. Shit, y'all niggas ain't playing it no way. Where where you going to help the first Veil jumper, the elf? Well, that ain't too specific, so
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
That's after that first major fight where you see your old buddy from the game trying to control some shit, right? Is that it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got a
That's
little
where
bit
I'm at
further
right
than
now.
you. What do you think of it so far?
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It reminds me kind of. Hmm. It's not bad. I just say it's not bad. It's not. The combat is It's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
No, the game. Well, that's the thing that because people Veilguard was a game that everybody's attacking because of DEI and Sweet Baby Inc. and all that bullshit. But the
Yeah.
game itself, to me, I mean, look, I played Dragon Age, the PS4 one, Inquisition, and I liked it. I'm not in love with the combat system with that one. So when I
Yeah.
got to a super hard boss fight about halfway through the game, I stopped. I was like, I don't want to put up. Not that I couldn't beat the boss. I just had to do a little bit of backtracking, maybe invest my upgrade points, another way, and I could have beat him. But since I wasn't in love with the combat, I just didn't. I wasn't motivated to do so. But with
Yeah,
this one,
and that's just. Oh,
go
go
ahead,
ahead, go
Henry.
ahead, go ahead.
I was
I
just
was I
gonna.
was just gonna say, go ahead.
I'll say it real quick so you can say what you gotta say. But the combat of this one is way better. But what's lacking in this one, I think the story is lacking. Like that Inquisition, the story captivated me from the get go. This one, not so much.
Word, word. See, that's the thing. I think since I didn't play none of the other ones, I don't have that. I
Experience.
won't be constant. Yeah, I won't be constant like comparing it to that. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, I'm kind of like looking at it with fresh eyes. And so if I had played the other ones, I have those games in the back of my mind still. So every time I would come across something that wasn't as good, or like yeah, like wasn't as good as in the other ones, I'd be like, man, damn, man, they dropped the ball right here, they dropped the ball right there, So that's in a way that's good. I feel like if you're like a new person into the series, that I think benefit being new because like a lot of people have said if this game was not if it was just called Veilguard and then one Dragon Age in front of it, it probably would have fared better than people been waiting 10 years for another Dragon Age game, and this is what they got. I can understand, why they upset with this than if it was just like a standalone fantasy game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yep, I agree with you, bro. I mean, I haven't completely disregarded Veilguard. I'm definitely gonna go back into it. I treated that game like I did The Last of Us Part 2. I treated that game how I did Assassin's Creed Shadows, meaning I didn't buy the game well, I did buy it day one. But I didn't buy it brand new. I got pre-owned copies of these games because I didn't want to support the fuckery. With the PS4 Last of Us Part 2, I came into it late anyways, right? I didn't beat The
Yeah,
Last of Us Part 1 till like 2020 anyways, and then Ghost of Tsushima, I played that before Last of Us Part 2. But even when I was looking to buy Last of Us Part 2, I really wanted a pre-owned copy. I didn't want to buy it new because I didn't want Naughty Dog to get none of my fucking money for that game. Velgar, same thing.
yeah,
I got lucky. Some people may not know this, but I have a friend who's a store manager at GameStop. That's how I was able to get my physical copy of Spider-Man. That's how I was able to get a physical copy of Veilguard. I got that day one actually, but it was a pre-owned copy. And I also got a pre-owned copy of Assassin's Creed Shadow because I knew that
yeah,
DRM was there. I knew that, and Ubisoft tells you, and I appreciate that from Ubisoft. You guys are going to get a sneak peek today from me on the video I'm going to be posting tomorrow and Tuesday. Tomorrow, I'm doing Will It Play with No Internet Starfield on Xbox. Tuesday, you're going to
Ooh,
see a video of Will It Play with No Internet. I did two games, Master Chief Collection and Halo 5. And the reason I did two is because after I put the first one in, pissed me off. I was like, let's try a different one, and I put Halo 5. And guess what? None of the fucking games play with no fucking internet. You can't, and
oh shit,
you'll see on the second video, but Starfield, Master Chief, and Collection and Halo 5 all will let you install 46 point. It's like identical. It's like 46 point something gigs. The rest you got to get off, from the internet. And why is that? Well, because Xbox disc only hold up to 50 gigs, where PlayStation disc hold up to 100. So both those games are over obviously 50 gigs. But I was extremely disappointed. I'm gonna check a 360 game. Obviously, those are gonna work just fine because that was before the whole internet era, which you could still do internet stuff, of course, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. But besides the point, I'm
yeah,
sidetracking. I don't want to support publishers and developers who do shit like that. And even though because I'm a gamer at heart, right? So even though it may not have everything I want, I look for reasons to play a game, not reasons not to
right,
play a game. So I'm gonna try to play the fucking game because it's something about it that interests me. But at the same
word,
time, I have to look out for my own self interest, right? Because I don't want these fucking developers to put out games where they're not on the disc because even though we're in 2025 and I have AT&T fiber internet and I got 1,000 fucking gigs of download speed, You never fucking know, bro. You just never fucking know.
Yeah.
There's so many networks that can go down. PlayStation Network can go down. Ubisoft Network can go down. My own fucking network can go down. You know what I mean? My account can get hacked. There's just so many things that can go wrong with a physical game. I know that I have that. So those are the reasons that I opted not to buy those games day one and support those companies. And for those of you guys out there saying, "Oh, you're a fucking loser, Will," blah blah. Let me tell you the opposite side of this. I don't know if Henry will know the answer to this, but Henry, off the top of your head, do you know what kind of games I completely hate completely?
Souls games.
Souls games, and what's another type of game that more gameplay that I really don't fuck with?
Hmm. Um.
What was that video that you watched that you were laughing your ass off?
Oh, metaphor.
And and what kind of combat is that game?
Turn based.
Turn based. I can't stand turn based. But guess what fucking game I bought? Guess what game I bought? And not only did I buy the fucking game, I bought a digital version of the fucking game. Baldur's Gate 3. See, Brett got it turn based. Baldur's Gate 3. I bought that motherfucker. Even though I hate the combat, right? Even
Yeah.
though it's digital, but I supported that game. You know why? Because of what that studio fucking stood for. They said, we're making our game how we want to. And guess what that game had? That game had where you could fuck a horse if you wanted to, a bear if you wanted to. They had same sex fucking sex in there. I didn't give a fuck because it fit with what they were doing. They weren't fucking
Yeah.
virtue signaling. They weren't doing nothing. They were just building the game that they wanted to. So I was like, you know what? I fuck with that. And even though it's not my thing, I support it. So for those of you guys saying, "Oh, you're a fucking bitch for not, buying Veilguard or day one, or retail Shadows, Veilguard, or Last of Us Part 2, I do the same thing on the opposite. I do the same thing with damn, what Son of Bone, what's their name? Team Kill Media. Like their games, let's be real, they're fucking kind of trash, right? They're fucking low budget, low quality, but I fuck with what they do. You have four brothers who are trying to fucking make video games, keep the bullshit out of it. They work hard. They're releasing games every fucking year. For the last 2 years, they released a game, and I
Yeah.
support that shit. So as much as on one side, I will not support a game and buy a brand new, I'll look for a pre-owned copy. I will also go the opposite route and buy a game that I wouldn't normally buy because I support the studio. So I'm pretty fucking consistent when it comes to it. And
Yeah.
people should be consistent too. I'm sorry, Henry, I kind of cut you off, went out on a rant there.
Nah, do your thing, bro. Shoot, do your thing. Cause that's good though that you still you find a way to experience the game without engaging with the fuckery.
Yeah.
Because these companies it's like your way of getting over in a way. You know what I mean? Because the companies they gonna get over if they can get over on you, they gonna get over. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like your way of getting over on them
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's exactly what it is.
still experiencing the game and yeah, I fuck with that.
Let me answer a PS4 collector's question. He said, "So could you play Starfield at all offline?" Yes, you can, PS4 collector. So most of these games, actually all games, unless they're a gas game, you can play offline for a certain amount of time. With Xbox, I believe it's 30 days. I think it's the same with PlayStation, meaning once you have the game installed in your console, you can play it offline for, I believe it's up to 30 days. After that, the game needs to do a DRM check and you need to connect online again. So yes, you can play it offline, but with stipulations, right? So that's cool, right? Because it combats the, oh, my internet went down for 2 days, and you can still play your game that way. But as far as ownership goes, no, it doesn't. Especially if the servers go out. Yes, you do have to be online to install the full game. You'll see in my video tomorrow, you can only, with Starfield and Master Chief Collection, you can only install 46 gigs. After that, you can't start the game, you can't do shit. It needs a final update from Microsoft Store, and that's when you'll install the rest. So if you have no internet, you can install 40 something gigs of the game, but that's all you can do. You can't play it, you can't do shit. So I just don't like that, bro. I don't like that. And by the way, PS4 collector, every single game that I've tested on PS5, the game is on the disc. Mind you, I don't have a large sample size. I think I've done maybe 10 of them, but every single one of them you can play or you can install and play without needing the internet. Even a game like the Oregon Trail, you can play that game with no fucking internet. Yes, some games need huge installs, like which is the a recent game that I installed that needed a huge update. Um Kingdom Come Deliverance. Kingdom Come Deliverance needed like a 50 gig update, but you can still play the game with no internet, right? So I rather get that than nothing at all. Um, Mr. Henry, what do you think
What's
of
poppin'?
Indiana Jones coming to PS5? Is that something you're gonna get? Do you give a fuck? What do you think?
Um,
And
initially, I
also they saying that tomorrow's when we get the release date.
um, like who said we getting it?
Game Rant wrote an article, which the article is based off Bill Kilby, who wrote Tomorrow Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PS5 will be announced on March 24th. Here's an exclusive look on its box art. More details in the original story below. And he says, here are the release dates with some fresh news about the PS5 versions of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, including he talks about pre-orders, what you get with those pre-orders. He says you can't play it 3 days early like you did on Xbox, but you'll be able to play it 2 days early on PlayStation. So that's where the information is coming from.
Hmm.
And I
I
guess
don't.
Bill Kilby is one of those dudes that only puts shit out when he's 100% sure. So he's got a 100%
Okay.
hit ratio. It's not like he's constantly tweeting and shit like some of these other assholes. No, he only posts like 2 times a year, and it's only when he knows something.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Initially, like when the game was first revealed and stuff, I cared, and I was like, yeah, because we knew these games were coming to the five, bro. They're not gonna spend that much on
Hmm.
licensing and all that kind of stuff, and not put it at the place where it's gonna, sell the most.
Bro,
Um,
63% of Xbox video game sales in December was PlayStation. Made them number
yeah,
one.
cause you know what I mean, cause the industry knows PlayStation games about a lot of people like to say, because they expect the first party games to sell as many copies as there are consoles, and that's just not realistic. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna happen. So since the first party games don't sell as much as the console, most of the time, what all of the time, people will say that PlayStation gamers don't buy games. But PlayStation gamers buy games. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing all the extra work to put the games over here.
No.
So that 60%, it's not surprising at all, because that's where most of the gamers at. For number one, most of the gamers
No.
are on PlayStation. But back to the Indiana Jones, uh, and we getting a physical. I catch it down the line for
Well,
35 $25.
the physical, yeah, me too. The physical on the PlayStation is also going to be filled with DRM, meaning that you're only going to be able to install a portion of the game. The rest you need online for. So Xbox is bringing the bullshit they do on their console over to PlayStation.
Mm,
I don't fucking like that
mm,
because, mind you, PlayStation disc
yeah.
hold 100 gigs. That's why you see
So
majority are on there.
and they didn't go into any detail about how much it's gonna. Yeah, yeah, never mind. Because otherwise it wouldn't need that if it was under 100 gigs, or the disc was or the disc had the game on there.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, so I mean that's just their way of doing it, man. Microsoft, I mean,
Yeah, and you're right,
that's just how
PS4
they get down.
collector. The 360 ruled that gen. It was a powerful gen. It had the best games on that gen. And they went through. I think Xbox went through what PlayStation did during the PS2 gen, where they got a big head. They said, "Hey, we're fucking doing this shit. We're the most popular right now." And then that's like, you know what? We need to expand into TV, TV, TV. Forgetting, like, look, I'm a perfect example of that. I'm a gamer. I game about 22 between 2 to 2,300 hours per year. How many hours of TV do I watch per year? 20, 30 maybe. So my thing is fucking video games. I think most hardcore gamers like us also do video games majority of the time. Trying to
Yep.
bring both into one. Look, man, the reason PS2 did it was because it had one of the cheapest Blu-rays that you can get out there, or not Blu-rays, but DVD players, right? So I don't know, man. They Xbox really dropped the ball, Xbox One era, which affected the new gen that they're at now. And I don't like that. I never wanted Xbox to fail ever, ever, because
Yeah.
that's competition, and competition breeds excellence. All right, let's go ahead and continue on now that my boy Henry is here. I want to go into a new article. Now, this one is fun. Is fun. This one is an article by GameRant, another one by GameRant that says Sony patent hints at PlayStation controller with unique feature. And it says here Sony could be experimenting with solar powered PlayStation controllers. According to a recent patent, if this unique PlayStation feature eventually comes to light, it could alleviate issues regarding having to periodically charge controllers during gaming sessions. With the release of the PS5 in November 2020, Sony introduced a new controller to accompany the console launch, known as the DualSense wireless controller. The gamepad features some
Hmm.
exciting technologies that allow for more. You know what? Fuck that. We know the rest, right? Um, the DualSense Edge has become my favorite controller of all time, Henry. Of all time.
Yep.
I like the weight. I definitely love the features. What do you think of a solar powered controller? What do you think about that?
I think that'll be dope, to be honest with you. I think that'll be dope. And it also shows, how they're trying to alleviate, they're trying interesting ways to alleviate issues with the controller, because the biggest complaint with the controllers, aside from stick drift, is battery
Better.
life. Yeah, battery life. So rather than them just saying, you know what, we just gonna throw a bigger battery inside that bitch. Instead of them saying that, we're gonna say they out here saying, you know what, you can just charge that bitch in the sun. Play with your window open, that bitch will charge. I think that's cool as fuck. I
Hmm.
really fucking do. You know,
Well,
that's
one of the things that I really loved about the PS5 gen that Xbox did not do whatsoever is that every time there's a new generation, PlayStation makes it feel like it's a brand new fucking generation.
yep,
And one of the ways they do that is with their controllers. Not only are they giving you a new system, but they're giving you a new controller as well. And I really fucking love that because the controller, like I was talking, I don't know if it was Warwana, I think it could have been you. Anyways, I was talking to one of the boys telling them I think we're talking about older games and how I don't like the older games because they just feel the controls feel like ass. And then we're talking about
yep,
Dying Light, how jumping. Oh, it's with you. Dying
yeah,
Light
yeah. How you gotta
jumping
you
is
gotta jump with
R1.
R1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people forget that a game could be good, but if you can't control that game well, what's the fucking point? And
that's a
people
fact.
just disregard the controller so much when it's, I would say, one of the most, if not almost the most important thing to a console. And even PC gamers are now playing with control more than ever.
Yep.
So the fact that PlayStation is investing in, which doesn't surprise me, right? Because they've been doing this for 30 years and every single gen is something new. The fact that PlayStation is still going after the hardware, that PlayStation is still trying to innovate, come out with new technologies, trying to make things better, trying to make things more convenient. I really, really like that. I really, really
Yeah, me
like that.
too.
All right, PS4 collector, thanks for hanging out, bro. I appreciate you. So that's exciting news. We've heard about the smell-o-vision shit for a long, long time, right? I don't think that will
Yeah.
come to fruition for decades. We don't have the technology for that. But something like this, where you can fucking, here in my house, I have a big ass fucking like bay windows in my living room. Every single room has a fucking window. My kitchen has more big ass windows, right? My gaming room,
Yep.
another big ass window. Like the sun is hitting my game room at least from sunrise till about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Guess where I'm at that time, Henry?
Work.
Work. So imagine I put the fucking controller down. I come home from work. That bitch is already charged. That's also gonna save me money on electricity every fucking month.
Yup.
I fuck with
Yup.
it. I fuck with it hard.
I
The
fuck with
uh
it hard too.
the other thing that I hope they do is some sort of sun resistant, paint or something or color. You know what I mean? So the controller
Yeah.
don't fade. Because at my job we have, items that are by the window and they don't sell quite as much. And you can tell after about 2 months or so that the paint is already starting to, fade out. So anything else you gotta say about the controller, Henry?
Um, I do hope though, with the just speaking to some controller issues, that they do start using the Hall Sense analogs where you have to worry less about stick drift. You know what I mean? Me
Yeah,
personally, I've not had any stick drift issues.
me
But
neither.
I know people who they go through duels. It's like Abethium, he go through DualSense controllers. Um, and I don't know if it's the way they play or humidity in the room. It's whatever it is. They go through controllers and with that Hall sense, it is a upgrade inside the controller space. So I would like to see PlayStation make use of that. Just because it's the next step up from the
Yeah.
the analogs we've been using for decades at this point.
So I've never in my life ever had stick drift on any controller ever in my life ever until the Nintendo Switch, which I had stick drift.
Mm,
I sent it to Nintendo and they fixed it for free, even though it was out of warranty, because Nintendo knew that their shit is stick drifty as fuck. So when
bro,
people say I got
my son go through those.
he goes through those like crazy, yeah, my son does too. But when I hear people talk about stiff drift, I can't relate. I just never had that. And also at the same time, I have to say, why is it always the same people complaining about stick drift? Like at a certain point, you gotta look at things, right? Like you have somebody like me who's never had stick drift in their life, to somebody who's
Yeah.
always complaining about stick drift. It's like maybe it's you, bro. Maybe it's you.
Yep.
And yes, humidity. Like I'm gonna give you guys an example of before I start the game and while I game. Like for example, you guys don't know this, but during this podcast, I wash my hands twice. Before I even pick up a
Wow.
controller, the rule in my house is, and my son followed this as well. When my ex girlfriend, she knew this too. We wash our hands before we pick up the controller. Every single time. If I stop and I put the controller down and I grab a snack, I come back, I wash my hands. Every single
Hmm.
time. My girlfriend at the time, she used to use my PlayStation to watch Netflix or YouTube before we got the smart TV. She knew to wash her fucking hands every time. Every time. It's just common sense because there's humidity in the air. Even though I wash my hands, the controller still gets dirty because our hands are oily, we sweat, whatever. But I take care of my shit, and not just that. Every month, I grab all my controllers, I take them to the kitchen, I lay out some paper towels. I got my little kit, which includes Q-tips, alcohol, rubbing alcohol, alcohol pads, um, cloth that non-scratch. What do you call those?
Microfiber.
Microfiber cloths. And I go to town and I clean every single controller. And I've never had no stick drift. And the DualSense Edge makes it easy. Where if you do, you just swap out the joysticks.
Yep.
So they're taking precautions to fix that. And I agree with Henry. They need to do more um, with that because controllers now they're 80, $90. They're not fucking. They're not 50. They're not 40 like they used to be.
Yeah, you can. It's at this point, it's best to just wait because like once a year they do have a sale on them where you can get them for like $50.
Yeah.
So that's the best time to scoop you one, and it's always good to have at least one backup. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I got a whole bunch. I got like 10 controllers, but I know not
Yes,
everybody's
it.
like me. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one because the next one is super interesting to me. I don't know if it'd be interesting to you, but it's gonna be super interesting to me. And the next one is Sony patent hints. Oh, we already read that one. I'm sorry. Sorry. It is right here. PS Plus March 2025 players count takes a big hit. It seems
Oh
as though
shit.
not as many PlayStation Plus subscribers were as interested in the March 2025 free games as they were in the February 25 lineup. PlayStation Plus subscribers, regardless of tier, are treated to a fresh batch of free games at the beginning of every month. The free games vary wildly in genre, budget, and popularity, which makes it difficult to predict what's going to be free from one month to the next. There have been 3 sets of free PS Plus games given away in 2025 so far. The free PS Plus games for January 25 were Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, and the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. While the February 25 free games were Payday 3, High on Life, and Pac-Man World Repack. The March 25 free games, which are still available for subscribers to claim for their digital libraries, are Dragon Age The Veilguard, Sonic Colors Ultimate, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: A Cowabunga Collection. Before I continue, I want to say something real quick. Guys, even if you don't like any of the fucking games, claim them. You don't know what your tastes are going to be in a year from now, 5 years from now. And as soon as you claim those games, you don't have to download them, but they go in your library. And all you got to do is go to your library and download them. You just never know, guys. I have hundreds of PS Plus games that I don't pay for except for my subscription every single month. And there's games that I've claimed that I didn't give a fuck about, and 2, 3 years later, I'm glad that I had it and I can play with my friends or check it out.
Mm-hmm.
One would assume that the free PS Plus games for March 25 would prove to be the most popular so far. After all, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was a massive flop when it first released, as was Payday 3. Dragon Age The Veilguard, while not a commercial success, did at least earn mostly positive reviews and is only a few months old. Well, because these journalists are fucking weird. I said that, not the article. Not to mention, Sonic Colors Ultimate is generally considered one of the best 3D Sonic games, and the Cowabunga Collection includes a bunch of classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games for the nostalgia-minded gamer. Indeed, the March 25 PS Plus free games lineup seems like the strongest this year so far. Okay, that's not the strongest. Oh yeah, maybe.
Nah.
Uh,
I think they say that because Veilguard is a newish game. That's probably the main reason why they say
yeah,
that.
value. What they consider to be valuable. Because yeah, even the cheapest you can get Veilguard is like 40, $50. Um, the strongest this year so far, but it has apparently experienced a drop in player count compared to both the February and January offerings. This was
Mm.
reported by True Trophies and Game Trends. According to their data, the free PS Plus games for March 25 saw a 15.2% player count drop compared to the February games and a 10.8% player count drop compared to the January 25 2025 free games. It seems the March 25 free games, being generally better received titles, did nothing for their player counts. It will be interesting to see if this downward trend continues with the April 2025 games, or if there's a rebound of sorts. We won't know what the free PS Plus games for April 25 will be until next week, though we do know that PS Plus Extra is getting a day one game on April 10th in the form of Blueprints. Question for you, Henry. Do
Nice.
you think this has to do, because I don't know if you heard that, but I didn't read it. I don't remember reading it. But do you think that has to do with subscribers going down? Like,
I
meaning
was
people don't want
I
to pay
was
for that
just
month?
about to ask you that, bro. Because I
And
was thinking.
and also, do
No,
you
go ahead,
think the
finish.
free PS Plus monthly games affect people that are going to subscribe that month? Because I buy yearly. I think you buy yearly too.
Nah, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I about 3 months at a time.
Okay, so go talk about that a little bit. Let me know what you think.
My thing is like, kind of to your question, are they really looking at a drop in subscribers, or are they just looking at the amount of people?
Who claimed
Because
it?
what who are playing the games and getting through the trophy? Because it's like a trophy counting site, ain't it? True
So
trophies.
this is from yeah, True Trophies, but then they also have the stats from who else? Who else? Um, Damn, where the fuck's that at? And Game
If they
Trends.
got
So Game Trends don't do nothing with trophies. I know Game Trends just does like articles and data.
okay, okay, well, all right then. So they give it a little more validity. Because if they was just rocking off, it's a drop just because people ain't engaging with the games, then I was like, eh. But I mean, yeah, if they, I don't, I'm not. That is interesting. If people look at the upcoming games and decide, oh yeah, I'm not fucking with it this much, so I'm gonna unsubscribe or not renew, and then they just renew when they see games that they're interested in playing. It's just speaking from my opinion. That's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Well,
what you was gonna say?
I have a theory, and I think my theory is that one, I think more people are subscribing month to month, and
Yeah.
they're just not fucking with it. But two, I'm a little confused. So my theory is that maybe there's more hardcore gamers than we think because we
Mm.
believe that the hardcore gamer are the guys that are on Twitter constantly yapping about, DEI shit, woke shit, Xbox sucks. I think that's a subgenre of the hardcore gamer. What I think, and
Yeah.
this is just me over here guessing, I don't know shit, right? I'm just a gamer like you guys. What I think is happening here, and the reason I say that is because if you look at Dragon's Age Veilguard and you didn't know nothing about the fucking game and you saw a trailer, you'd be like, this game looks dope. It's
Yep.
melee combat. There's magic in here. There's a fucking dragon in the cover, right? The colors are appeasing or appetizing, right?
Yep.
Why aren't people digging into it? So that's leading me to believe that there's more hardcore gamers than we think because only really the hardcore gamer knows with all the DEI woke shit that's happening with the game. And
Yeah.
also, Dragon Age is a famous IP, right? They sold, I forget, it's like 20 million, 15 million copies. So they sold a lot. So I think gamers are able to tell the difference between the old and the new. So that's my theory. I don't know if I'm right, but what do you think about that? Do you think I'm off
You
base or
could be,
something to it?
because I mean, it could be something to it. Because you also another token inside there is you got these content creators like Asmongold. A lot of regular dudes watch Asmongold, that game. You know what I mean? So
True,
they watching Asmongold, and he talking about all this stuff inside the game, and he not fucking with it. By nature, they also not gonna fuck with. You know what I mean? So
true.
I think it's a combination of things. Of it could be it's more hardcore gamers than we would give credit to, but then also even on the casual level, you got casual people who like watch people like Luke Stevens or Legendary Drops or Asmongold. Asmongold probably the biggest, and so they probably get their gaming information through people like them. They probably not combing through articles and stuff like that. They probably just pop on Asmon and get the information from him. So it's probably a combination of things that
Hmm.
contribute to the situation.
Agree. I agree. Yeah, I thought that was super interesting when I saw that. I definitely want to talk about it tonight. Because
Uh
yeah,
huh.
that's a little weird. I also thought that there would be, I didn't think there would be more yearly subscribers. I for sure knew that. Um, oh, hey, Brett. Yeah, the free monthly for Xbox, those went away last year, bro, because now you have Game Pass Ultimate. Yeah,
Right
those
off
were
of that
those were
joint.
gone, bro. You late, Brett. Y'all don't get that shit no more. Xbox is overcharging for their services. Hey, but I will say though, I was on Game Pass today and they had a couple cool shit that looked cool, but that you can only play on Xbox. And Brett, I checked out that 33 Immortal games and I definitely need to play it with you. But yeah, it's a weird thing for sure. I'd be interested to find out more information about it. I'm gonna do some more digging this week, see if I can find any more articles about it, and maybe we'll talk about it next week. But yeah, it's super interesting to me because Sonic is a household name, right? Everybody knows who
Facts.
fucking Sonic is.
Facts.
What was the other one? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's another fucking household name, right?
Yep.
So everybody knows who the fuck Sonic and Ninja Turtles are. So you
Mm-hmm.
would think just off the power of those two, they would have numbers. But who knows? I don't see, and I also don't think that it's strictly because of the games, because we know that there's more month to month subscribers, more quarterly subscribers than there is yearly. I also think, hey, tax season, right? Taxes are due in 3 weeks. I got to do my fucking taxes. I fucking hate doing them, but they're due April 15th. You know, the economy. I mean, look, people in my family have gotten laid off, you know.
Yep.
So I think it's a tough time all around, and it's not just about the games. I think, people spending that, 10, 15, $20, $18 a month is kind of a hard ask right now in the temperature of the world events and economy. So I don't think it's strictly just the games. Because if we went
Yeah.
strictly off the games, common sense would say, hey, you're getting Sonic and Ninja Turtles. Even if those were the only two games that came out, those are worldwide known IPs that every single person knows about. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Do you think that it has to do more with the economy and people not wanting to spend money for subscriptions? Or do you think that Veilguard is that much of a stinker that people know what it is? So do you go with my theory one, that there's more hardcore gamers than we know of and they want to stay away from Veilguard and they don't see subscribing to PS Plus is worth it? Or theory number two that I came up with, that it's just the economy's hard and people don't want to spend money on? So let me know what you guys think. And then the last article I want to go over, or not the last one, let me see here. Actually, there's two more articles I want to go over, or three. Um, let's go over Assassin's Creed one real quick because we're here now. Damn, there's four.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows real quick. Now this one is from
Assassin's
IGN,
Creed.
not from Game Rant, and it says here, title: Assassin's Creed Shadow hits 2 million players 2 days after release. Ubisoft says it's now surpassed Origins and Odyssey launches. Ubisoft has hailed another AC Shadow player milestone, but has yet to confirm a sales figure for the game. Mind you, that day one they said 1 million, day two they said 2 million. In a social media post,
Wow.
Ubisoft says Shadows has seen 2 million players since going on sale on March 20th, up from the 1 million day one. That's enough to surpass launches of both Origins and Odyssey, Ubisoft added. Thank you for joining the journey in feudal Japan. It's an impressive start for AC Shadows, but it's worth noting in mind that Ubisoft has yet to announce sales figure for the game. Still, we do know it's the top-selling game on Steam, where Ubisoft recently returned after years of PC launch exclusivity on the Epic Game Store. At the time of this article's publication, Assassin's Creed Shadow was on 58,894 concurrent players on Steam, enough to break into the top 30 most played games on Valve's platform. That peak is expected to rise as we continue into the game's opening weekend. Mind you guys that Assassin's Creed games have long legs, man. They sell for a long time. For
Yep.
comparison, Origin's all-time Steam peak was 41,500 over 7 years ago, and Odyssey was 62,000. It seems likely Shadow will become the most played Assassin's Creed game on Steam later this weekend. BioWare single-player RPG Dragon Age of Veilguard launched on Steam Thursday, October 31st, and saw a peak of 89,418 players on Valve's platform. The true concurrent peak of Assassin's Creed Shadow will, of course, be much higher given it launched on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Also, neither Sony nor Microsoft make player numbers public. There is enormous pressure on Assassin's Creed Shadow to do well for Ubisoft globally after multiple delays and the sales failure of last year's Star Wars Outlaw. Indeed, Ubisoft suffered a number of high-profile flops, layoffs, studio closures, and game cancellation. In the run-up to Assassin's Creed Shadow release, things got so bad at Ubisoft that its founding Guillemot family and largest shareholder are reportedly exploring talks with Chinese megacorp Tencent and other investors on a buyout deal that would let them preserve control. Assassin's Creed Shadow has also endured a number of controversies itself. Not least in Japan this week, IGN confirmed that Ubisoft had quietly released a day one patch for Assassin's Creed Shadows that made a number of important changes, seemingly in response to a concern from some Japanese politicians about in-game temples and shrines. In a remarkable exchange this week, Japanese politician and member of the House of Councilors of Japan, Hiroyuki Kada, raised the issue of Assassin's Creed Shadows in an official government meeting, and Shigeru Ishiba, the Prime Minister of Japan, responded. On Steam, at least, AC Shadows going down very well with players. It has a very positive user rating with 81% of over 6,000 user reviews marked as positive. IGN AC Creed review returned an 8 out of 10. We said, okay, whatever. All right. So a couple things with Assassin's Creed Shadows. So with player count 2 million, no sales data yet. It looks like players are playing this game on Steam, but we don't know the numbers for PlayStation. We don't know the numbers for Xbox. As we talked in the Discord, Assassin's Creed Shadows is not in any subscription service. I am not even sure if it's on Ubisoft's own subscription service, which is Ubisoft Plus. But even if it was, they sure as fuck don't have 2 million subscribers. So, Henry, do you think that this 2 million player count is close to the actual sales? And why do you think this game is being received well and why the numbers are so high?
I do think, it's it's representative of what it's actually doing as far as sales.
Mm-hmm.
This time period, people have been looking forward to this time period or era or theme, however you want to call it, for Assassin's Creed for a long time, a real long time. So it was obviously going to sell. Assassin's Creed games generally sell well anyway. So on top of it already selling well, this being a anticipated theme for the game, on top of that, it was a win-win. Um, and like even looking at it on PlayStation, it's got a 4.74 with 8,000
Wow.
and with 8.2 ratings. That's damn near a five. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So people are enjoying the game for what it is. You might have issues here, you might have issues there. I understand you have issues with the game, but your issues are like grounded in something. You know what I mean? It's not like you up here complaining because you can destroy certain things in the temple when the individuals themselves chose to destroy that. You know what I mean? Or this person is engaging in certain relationships with a certain character when that person is choosing to. So when somebody complain about stuff like that, me, I don't take it serious because, like, sure, the option is in there, you choosing to engage with it. um Personally, I don't give a fuck about relationships in games. I don't engage with that mechanic. So when I do boot it up, I'm gonna be playing the what's that mode? um Canon mode. I'm gonna be playing the canon mode. So I won't be worried about all that nonsense. But I do think this game is going to do well for Ubisoft. I don't think it's going to save them though. Hell no, they in too deep of a hole. I do believe that they are going to have to turn over a bit of control to Tencent or whatever to get back on track. I personally think they need to sell off a couple of the dormant IPs they're not using anyway. They got plenty of IPs. Just sell off a couple and do what Capcom is doing. Capcom is focusing on Resident Evil, Monster Hunter. Um, what else they put out? Street Fighter. Um, and that's about it. That's about it.
Yeah.
They might have a fourth game. You know what I mean? So Ubisoft need to do that. They need to focus on Siege, Assassin's Creed, either Division or I would say the Division because every time Division drop, it break records. So I choose Division over Ghost Recon. And so they got I Creed, the crew. Since Forza coming to PlayStation, I probably drop the crew. You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
just don't. It's not as good, and it's in the same kind of. It's in the same lane. You know what I mean? Forza ain't really in the same lane as Gran Turismo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I will get rid of the crew. Um, I probably
The crew did
life.
pretty well.
I know, but the crew probably doing most of its numbers on PlayStation. So you think people gonna continue playing the crew when Forza get here?
I mean, we got Gran Turismo, and people still make time for the crew. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
but
play
what
either.
I'm saying is because both yes, the Gran Turismo is a racer and the Crew is a racer, but the Crew is like open world style racing, like how Forza is, like so it's directly in that same lane, whereas Gran Turismo is track racing. You know what I'm saying? Does it make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, we just have to see. I
So
think there's always space in the for all sorts of games. I don't think that any game is out. You know what I mean? Like I don't believe there's no such thing as there's too many of a certain type of game. I've never been a
yeah,
believer in that. Um, but there is such a thing as games are just better than other games.
yeah.
And
That's why I was just speaking to the point of like as far as Ubisoft getting on track and narrowing down their focus on
yeah,
certain IP.
yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, look, I like Ubisoft. I like Ubisoft because they put out product, right? And it's not
Yep.
complete dog shit. They're releasing between 3 and 5 games per year. They're at a steady pace. It's just the games they put out. They're not memorable. They're not the masterpieces people that stick with people. Like
Hmm.
right now I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadow, and right now while I'm on the podcast, I'm having a good time with it. Yesterday I was not. Friday night,
Hmm.
I was not. So it's like
Yeah, we
these.
talked about it.
It's a game that you got to play while you're in the mood. It's not a game where you can just sit. I mean, for me, right? It's not a game where I can just sit down and play from start to finish like I would with a Horizon or Ghost of Tsushima, where I can't wait to see what happens next. This I'm just playing
Hmm.
because I don't know what else to play. Adam Fall comes out on Friday, but
Yeah.
as far as the numbers go, that does not surprise me at all. Henry said it. We've been waiting on or people have been waiting on Japanese, Assassin's Creed for a long, long time. I like Japanese, but I am not like it's not in my top 5 of regions that I would have picked, right? Like I'd rather pick something like I don't know, like Colombia over Japanese. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Because let's be real, this game isn't anything special. It's nothing, it's just another Assassin's Creed game, right? But we'll see, man. I'm the minority in this. I feel well. I know I am because there's over 2 million players, but it's gonna be interesting. And as far as the whole, day one patch with problems with the temples and shit, whatever. I mean, I don't look to destroy temples, but I'm like, you should leave it there. It's up to the gamer themselves on what they want to do.
Yeah.
That's like censoring Grand Theft Auto because you can kill hookers. It's like,
Yeah.
come on. It's part of the game. It is what it is. Brett here says, well, the Crew is open world. Yes, it is. Dizzy, what's up, Dizzy? I didn't even realize you were here, bro. I'm sorry. Um, Dizzy, he was alone in the beginning. He was just speaking to us. Adam Fall drops Thursday. I'm going to at least try it. Yeah, it's on Game Pass. So, oh, weird. Sounded like he was talking to someone with their mic off and responding. What was Dizzy talking about? Not watching live started the show over, but whoever you're talking to on the panel, we can't hear in the beginning of. Oh no, no, Dizzy, I'm talking to y'all. I didn't have nobody in the beginning, bro. Not till Henry popped in. So yeah, I'm talking to y'all. I'm not like most of these other dudes who talk to themselves and not you guys. Like that's why I'm here for to talk to y'all. Y'all are the gamers. All right, and then another article that I wanted to go over real quick.
Hold on, let me if I
Yeah, go ahead.
put a bow on that, because I had did a video on that specific situation,
Yeah,
and they were saying that Ubisoft like quietly released a patch. I'm like, how you quietly release a patch if you
yeah.
told one of these games media outlet about the patch and
hmm
then release patch notes?
hmm
That don't seem quiet to me. That seem like regular business. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Another
I
day at
thought
the
that was
office.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. This it's stupid. But they try to make it seem, or maybe it was marketing. They try to make it seem like quiet. Let's say it's quietly so we can hype up the game, or because controversy sells. You know what I mean? Maybe it
That's
could have been
true.
one of those situations. The next thing we're going to talk about is only because I know it's popular. People are looking forward to this game, and that's Expedition 33 has gone gold.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
Article here by Game Rant. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 has gone gold. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 developer Sandfall Interactive shared that the highly anticipated RPG has gone gold, signifying that the game's final build is ready to be To go ahead of its April 24 release date, Sandfall stated that Clair Obscura 33 went gold 33 days ahead of its launch. Look at that. Set in the wondrous world
Fire.
based upon pre-World War One France, Expedition 33 is a turn-based RPG that draws inspiration from older Final Fantasy games in its combat, music, and overreaching plot. The mission of the titular Expedition 33 sets characters like Gustave and Mel on a quest to stop the entity known as the Paintress, who wakes up each year and paints a glowing number in the sky. The number corresponds to the age limit of the world's citizen, as anyone aged past that will fade away while those at that age just have a year to live. As such, Expedition 33's mission to stop the Paintress may be its last. With just over a month to go until the launch of Expedition 33, Sandfall Interactive took to social media to share good news. Sandfall Interactive confirmed that 33 has gone gold. Ergo, the game's final build is now ready for physical and digital distribution. Sandfall pointed out that Expedition 33 went gold with just 33 days until release, making the announcement's timing all the better. Sandfall thanked fans for their continued
Yes,
support during
sir.
development and said that the remaining time will be utilized up to polish up some details and fix any lingering bugs or issues that appear. Sandfall concluded the announcement by stating it looked forward to seeing players experience the story and music of Expedition 33. In response to the post,
Mm-hmm.
fans expressed their congratulations and excitement to the Expedition 33 developers. Although Expedition 33 will launch at $49.99 on consoles, Steam users can now pre-order the game for as low as $44.99. Same thing on PlayStation Store. If you're a PS Plus member, you can pre-order
Yep.
the
I
game
was
for
just about to add it.
$45 until May 1st. Expedition 33 will also be a day one release on Xbox Game Pass for both console and PC, giving fans more ways to play one of the most anticipated games of 2025 on the cheap. Between the game's use of Unreal Engine 5 and combat to keep players on their toes, excitement for Expedition 33 continues to build. It remains to be seen how the story of Expedition 33 will play out. Henry, this is day one for you?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
this is day one. Cause,
Yeah.
cause I like this. I like the team. I like the studio. I like the fact they was able to build this game in under 5 years. Um, I'm yeah, I'm dig. And then the price make it a insta buy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At at you get your discount, you get your Steam discount, and then of course your Game Pass brothers and sisters they get they get to they get a freebie. You
Yeah.
know, but yeah, I'm really excited for this, and I haven't been excited for a turn-based game in centuries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's turn-based, but it's active. You know, you can parry and dodge, and yeah, I'm with it, bro. I'm hyped for it. Definitely one of my most anticipated of this year. One of them.
Yeah, I hate turn based, just as I said earlier in the podcast. I hate it with a passion, but this game is doing something unique. One, the graphics look fucking amazing. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The combat is not your typical turn based shit, right? It's active like Henry said. But the main thing that has me excited for this game is the fucking story. Such a unique
Yep.
premise. Every year, the bad guy puts the age up, and anybody who's over that age perishes instantly. Anybody who's at that age has a year to live. Like, wow, talk about a story that is time sensitive, that is interesting. You don't see that, kind of story. And on top of that, the game is a looker, man. Unreal Engine 5. Unreal Engine 5 has been around
Yeah.
for a lot of years. Well, now, right? We haven't seen many games take full advantage of Unreal Engine 5, and it looks like this studio is real damn close to it because the game
Yep.
looks phenomenal. So I know I don't normally I never buy turn-based studio or turn-based games. This one I didn't think it was going to be a day one for me, but the more I see, the more I hear about it, especially at that $50 price point, I believe it will be for myself as well. But man, I'm
That's a
excited for
yeah.
that game.
That's an insta cop right there, boy.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about that
Also,
game?
also the fucking music in that bitch. That
Oh
music
yeah, the
is
music.
second. Yeah, bro. I'm big on in game soundtracks and OSTs and stuff. Hitting, especially that battle music, hitting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's by a unique studio, like a French studio. Like we don't see many studios from France or French, So I'm excited to see how they do their shit, how they apply their culture, how they do all that, right? Because part of a game's DNA is who's making it, right? And
Yep.
just like Blasphemous, they're a Spanish studio, and they used the whole, Christian or Catholic thing, in that game, and it made it something very special. So I'm looking forward to that
Hmm.
for sure. And then last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about the future game. Um, Actually, no. I want to talk about a new PlayStation feature. So we're gonna go ahead and read this real quick from Green Rant, and this will be the last thing to wrap up. And the article is: New PlayStation feature will help crack down on offensive content.
Oh shit.
A new feature on PlayStation is meant to crack down further on potentially offensive content with a filter on messages sent through the mobile app, giving users a chance to review their content before sending it. The feature is just one of many ways Sony has attempted to streamline the content moderation system on PlayStation console in recent years. As the PlayStation app continues to grow and evolve over time, PlayStation is one of the biggest names in the gaming industry, with the PS5 and PS5 Pro showing immense sales numbers and outselling the likes of its main competitor, the Xbox Series X, likely due to its high number of exclusive titles. That being said, this continued success comes with a huge number of players and a high degree of challenge when it comes to moderating content sent and distributed on the PlayStation platform um, app, which has led the company to crack down further on potentially harmful material. According to a report from comicbook.com, Sony is seemingly experimenting with a brand new feature of the PlayStation app known as Nudge that will automatically moderate messages that contain potentially offensive material and give users a chance to edit their posts before sending them out to friends and other players. Currently, this feature is only available to a seemingly random assortment of users as Sony experiments with it, with an official rollout potentially in the works down the line as the company nails down its functionality. All right, I'll leave it at that.
Hmm.
But I've seen this in action before, not the editing part, but messages. There was a friend that I sent a message that it was something like, "Yeah, that game was complete fucking ass. Like it smelled, it's like dirty booty hole, like shit like that." And
Oh
when I
man.
went to go message him next, like a day or two later, that message was gone. And I was like, bro, did you delete that message from last night about the game, being trash? He's like, nah, bro. I was gonna ask you the same thing. I was like, oh hell nah. PlayStation is out here fucking deleting quote unquote offensive shit. Offensive to who? First off, because that's how me and my friends talk. Even here on the podcast, I'm constantly dropping fuck yous and bitch, pussy, dicks. I don't give a fuck. That's the point of, not the point of the podcast, but we want a podcast where we can speak how we speak without consequence. I don't like that. That also goes into my physical is better than digital, because PlayStation is not able to come in my house, take a game from me, and said, "Hey, we showed a fat, big booty Latina on the game, and we didn't fucking delete it when we should have. So give us the game back." But what they can do is, put a patch out there and censor the shit or take it out of the game completely if you have digital, and there's nothing you can do about it unless you already have the game installed and you don't do any more updates and you're offline.
Yep.
Henry, what do you think about that?
Well, I was going. First of all, I don't like that whole. They'll just go in there and delete it. I don't like you messing with my stuff like that. You feel me? But I could see if it's a situation where it's like a feature that a person could turn on. It. You know what I mean? Because some people, some people sensitive, and so they would turn the feature on. Or if you got kids, you would turn it on. But like me, I'm a grown ass man, dog. I don't need you to filter my stuff for me. I don't, I'm not easily offended. And like you say, I be talking greasy in messages to the homies, bro. I be saying
Mm-hmm.
all kind of shit because I'm talking to my homies.
Yeah.
Like y'all and a couple of my friends I game with, I've known since like 1997, 98, 99, so we talk real crazy. Like if the public knew some of the shit, how we be talking, bro, we people look at us differently, you know what I mean? But I don't like it being what it, I don't like it, bro. Yeah, I try to look at it from both aspects. So it's cool if it's a feature that people can turn on. But if it's something that's just gonna automatically be on, even if I don't want it on, like fuck that shit, bro. Get that shit out of here, bro. I'm an adult. I don't need you to govern my experiences and watch over
What the
me and
fuck?
protect me from certain languages. I don't need a safe space on the game, bro.
Yeah,
I can take care of myself.
yeah. Now I think the feature itself. Look, I wish I've done that a few times where I'm gonna send a message and I need to edit it and I didn't. And if you guys follow me on Discord, you know that I misspell shit all the fucking time, right? I got fat fingers. I'm constantly on the move. I'm constantly on the go. So I'm typing as I'm walking. I'm typing as I'm doing something. I'm typing while doing all sorts of shit. So I like the feature where I can edit it. But this feature is only if it's offensive, right? And what does that doesn't help me because if I want to say fucking smells like booty hole, that's exactly what the fuck I mean. It smells like booty hole. The other thing
Yep.
too is that this is just one more thing. This is just one more thing that leads them to more control. Now it's
Yep.
this. Next is gonna be fucking games that say certain words, games that show certain things. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all, man, because we should have the freedom and the flexibility to play games that we want, to say the things that we want, even if it is offensive, even if it's fucking verbally damaging to somebody else. Like it shouldn't fucking matter. You should deal if you're comfortable enough with saying some fucked up shit, then you should be comfortable enough with dealing with the consequences of the shit that you say.
Yep.
It's that fucking simple. We do not need a police out here fucking telling us this is a no no. Let the world deal with it. If you say some fucked up racist shit, let the world deal with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't condone that, FY. I don't condone fucking saying racist shit. I don't condone saying fucking, well, I was going to say homophobic, but we don't want to attack people. You know what I mean? Um, we don't want to demean them for what they are or whatever. What they do is a whole different thing, but I just don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with it. I do agree with making fun of somebody, having a good time with them, as long as they're engaging back, right? But if they're
Yep.
not, let them be. We have friends. I got friends that are gay. I got friends that are black. I got friends that are white. I got friends of all sorts, and we all fuck around in different ways. There's some things I can say with certain friends, there are things that I can say with others. Let's just say they're not close friends, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, man, I just think it's fucking weird. I like the feature on its face, but I don't like what it means. Outside of that,
Hmm.
Henry, do you have anything else to add to that?
Yeah. Other than like with them, I just don't like. I don't like the automatic shit, bro. Cause that's one thing that's been going on with Call of Duty. Like they got AI or something listening to you. So if you say some shit out the way, they gonna chat ban you. You are gonna get
Yeah,
chat banned for 7 days. And I was like, bro, so what's gonna happen if you say the wrong thing and the message is more than a couple times? What they gonna do then? And it kind of leads into your conversation you was having earlier about will they take your fucking account? Like what's going on?
exactly. Excuse me. Exactly. And that's one of the biggest things I talk about digital versus physical. It's all it takes is for you to say the wrong fucking thing. PlayStation fucking blocks your account, and now all those thousands upon thousands of dollars you spend on video games are fucking gone. Just
Hmm.
like that, gone. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. I mean, you can appeal it, but we all saw that one dude. Man, I forget his name. He's real famous. Um, he's got like 1,000 platinums or some shit. He's a social media dude. He's very well known, and they blocked his account. Somebody
Yeah, I
like that
remember.
that can
I
happen
remember
to.
saying that.
Yeah. What makes you think you, the 35-year-old father who goes to work Monday through Friday, plays video games on the evening when you put the kids to bed, and when you pipe down the wife and now she's watching her TikToks in the room, and you're like, shit, I got about an hour. Let me fucking go play some Call of Duty with the boys. And then maybe on the weekends, maybe you got a fucking couple hours to yourself when the wife takes the kids shopping and shit, and you say
Yep.
fucking one thing, and now you lost everything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If that happened to me, no problem. I would have a problem because I got a lot of digital games, but I got way more physical. No problem. I go buy another PlayStation. I start a new fucking email, a new account. I start popping them disc in, and I'm right back to where I was. And those other
Yep.
digital games that I have, I'll buy them again. They all cost fucking two, three, four, five, six, $10. It's not like I spent $60, $70 on video games. I've only done that a couple times. Monster Hunter World was one of them, and I didn't even use my own fucking money for that. I used a gift card. I only pay like $20 out of pocket for that. The other game I did that with is Wukong. And outside of that, I can't think of any other big AAA game that I spent $70 on digitally because I don't do that. One, I can't sell it, I can't trade it, I can't borrow it, I can't loan it, I can't fucking trade it in, I can't do nothing with it. So
Yep.
fuck that, man. Protect yourself, guys. Remember, when I talk about physical games, it's about ownership the majority of the time. Ownership. And there's other things like internet, network problems, shit like that. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today, man. Henry, you got anything else you want to let the people know?
Nah. Other than this, hey, Dragon Age ain't too bad. You feel me?
Yeah.
It ain't too bad. But yeah, nah. Good show. Good show. Good topics. I like going over like articles and stuff. I do a few videos a week just going through articles. So I like diving into there. Because a lot of times when you content creators, they don't never go into the whole article. They just take a quote out of context and represent it whatever way they want to represent it. And then you look in the they don't even put a link to the article or nothing. They just talking
Mm-hmm.
crazy. So you just gotta go find it and read it yourself. And I implore everybody to do that. Because sometimes, man, they misrepresent a lot of stuff that get said, and even quotes. They'll cut words off. They'll pick a phrase, quote that, and then go off on a tangent about that, and leave out all the context, and have people in a way about a developer or studio when that's not that's not even the actuality of what went on. So it was a real good show going over these articles. I fuck with it.
Yeah, I don't normally do articles on this podcast either, or I don't. I know you do. Reason I don't is because sometimes, like Henry said, they only take clips of the article, or sometimes they get too involved with the articles. I only really go through articles when I was short on time, so I let the articles do it for me, and then I just add my 2 cents in. And tonight I was by myself. Nelson didn't show up. I hope he's all right. But it was just me solo, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll do articles, I'll read them off, and I'll put my 2 cents in," because I like feeding off the gamers. We know these articles or these quote unquote writers and journalists. These fucking people don't play games. You know what I mean? They
Nah,
just don't, man.
nah.
Like these reviewers on YouTube is a little bit different, right? But like IGN, shit like that. Like a lot of the times, these dudes mainline the main story. They do a few side quests and that's it. They're not doing it ass to cheeks like how most of us do it. We play, a lot of us play everything. One of the biggest complaints with Assassin's Creed is that there's so much shit to do that people get fatigued from the game, right? And I say, well, that's a you problem. You need to be able to fucking distinguish before what you can do and can't do. But at the same
Yep.
time, I understand what it's like. Like right now I'm clearing this base and now I'm also looking for fucking scrolls. Like my plan wasn't to look for scrolls, but because the scrolls are here, I might as well get them. But
Yep.
yeah, so I don't fuck with them, and a lot of the times these fucking dudes have relationships with these, publishers, developers, console makers. So they're telling us what they want us to hear any fucking ways. They're no better than politicians. So, but sometimes you come across some good articles like the ones that I read tonight, which is why I read them. I really like Game Rant as a whole. Them dudes, I think, I don't want to say all of them, but a good portion of them are gamers and they put out reviews for games that I also tend to agree with. But yeah,
Hmm.
if y'all want more articles in these shits, let me know. I have no problem with it. I just normally have a co-host Nelson who's here so we can feed off each other, and then a lot of the times we have guests like Henry, and that's who I want to hear from because these dudes play games. These dudes will be straight up with you and be like, yeah, this game is complete ass, or this is what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then we can go off that. But yeah, I don't got nothing else.
Yep.
Henry, do you have anything else you want to say?
Ah, man, appreciate everybody for coming through, man. Solid show, awesome show, and catch y'all in the next one.
Yeah, and a huge shout out to Henry for joining me. He can join me whenever the hell he wants. Same things go with RPG. Same thing goes with Brett. Same thing goes with any fucking body listening, man. Look, we do this on PlayStation voice chat. So if you have a PlayStation, you got a pair of headphones. add me as a friend on PlayStation. You want to hop on the show, feel free to do so. Just let me know when you want to do it, and we'll do it, man. We'll talk video games and shit. Also, shout out to Brett for being here. I hope you feel better, bro. I hope you get better. Not just feel better, but I hope you get better. Shout
Yeah,
out to
bro.
PS4 Collector. Bro, we got to have PS4 Collector on the show. He said he's down. This dude owns over 2,400 physical video games.
Damn.
Yes, great. Or no, that's just PS4. He's got over 6,000 physical video games, all the way starting back from Atari. Drizzy, thank you for being here, my guy. Henry, of course. Byron. Um, damn, I miss Byron Sting. Byron, what's your PS6 first party prediction? Fucking Naughty Dog. Intergalactic. That's the one I'm predicting. RPG 88, who was here. Thank you. Who else? Who else? If I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry about that, but thank y'all so much for being here, man. I really do appreciate it. I know Sunday evenings are kind of weird because people want to chill with the family and shit, watch movies and shit,
Hmm.
get ready for the work week. But thank y'all for being here, and we will catch you in the next one. Keep it gaming.